me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown. Touchdown. 8th floor. Come down. Hotel. Lobby.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Here's the former Sooner, Austin Seibert, to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go.
Ready up.
Go 58's the mic. Check. Kill.
Go.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Double time. Three down.
Fournette running right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Aaron Donald's secret, if there is one, to his play, his ability to contort his body in such a way that you can't get a good, clean block on him. He slides through holes and slides past blockers and makes plays just as we saw there.
Set up. 60 outlaw.
It's a party now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert steps away to his left. Wide open receiver complete. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 66 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
The conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I know he ain't got it. Check, check, hey, check. Out.
Now a run with Geis.
Run.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready? 180.
55. Hey, eat. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the 8. Safety's creeping.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
58 to Mike, 58.
They'll try the air now with Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play that time for Cleveland. 56 yards.
First down. First and goal at the 7-yard line.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
It's just me and you.
Geis, they'll try to run it. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Bengals' 8-yard line.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
He's crossing.
Great.
Here's Newton. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Come on, set.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up the score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The tackle there by Breanne Body Calhoun.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now Leonard Fournette. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Ready, set.
Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
And we heavy on the edges. Hey, Alpha.
58 to Mike. Go 58 to Mike. Check the outs. 58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
gun on third down. Herbert. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked out by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Here's Geis, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 37-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Tight ends right. Tight ends right. Three down.
Newton now to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And now look at him go. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Badgley now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game.
SOS. Gun.
On first down, Newton. It's complete to Fuller. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton, he's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 25-yard line. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Tie it right.
Newton now to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Right at the 8. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Newton on third down. And they're going to get him. He's sagged back around the 28.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So kind of a tough break there. No real hook or slice to that one, but he's denied by the upright.
And he basically hits it just straight as an arrow. But yeah, since he's on the hash mark to begin with, straight as an arrow isn't good enough.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Out. Hey. He's moving, boys, moving. 58, let's go.
Now Fournette, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd down.
Ready?
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Escaping the pressure right, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. His kick is absolutely perfect. Badgley hit from 59 in his rookie season. This one not quite as long, but he shows off that big leg by hitting another from distance. Back to the made field goal. Badgley back out there for the kickoff. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here we go.
The Browns drive about to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. He's got Fuller. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's a gain of 21 yards. That's good for a Browns first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Newton now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. To throw is Newton. He'll get this into the hands of Bird. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for 28 yards.
That's another Browns first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
65.
Newton throwing again. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Watch 10, watch 10. Come on, watch 10. Watch the curl, watch the curls.
Again, Newton. There he goes inside the 30. Going to throw right side here, complete. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Now Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Bengals drive about to get going. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Herbert. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. D Ford, he's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Newton on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Newton now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton looking middle, and it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Gun. Zoom.
Throwing again. Newton. And he's got it. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
On the ground, Geis. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Geis alone in the backfield here. 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Browns get a score closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. Looking to throw. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Uchenna Nwosu picks up his second sack of the afternoon. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Back to throw. Herbert looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Yep. I got you. 58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Watch the slap. Look, squeeze.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. He's got this one complete to Perriman. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
Been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
The Browns drive about to get started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's Newton. The pass complete. It's Bird. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
And the Browns, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Newton down. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. Buying time was left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Shift.
Out of the gun, Newton. Throw caught here by Bird. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Demir Bird, 72 yards. as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just one score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's second and 8.
Watch the screen. Pass.
Hey, exit.
Here's second and 8. They complete it to Hill. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Go.
Your trip is here.
Hey, 58's the mic. Go, 58's the mic.
Get him.
Go.
58's the mic. 58's the mic.
He can't. Let's go.
From the gun on third down. Herbert. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Ready, break.
Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Herbert, it's Hill, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Let it.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Tight 6-6. Pull it high. Shoot.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. To throw again, Herbert. And his pass incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Who's got 84? Check 84.
You don't know no better.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike. Cut.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 48 yards. Well, the Bengals, they widen their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
At the 44-yard line.
That 30 base.
58 to Mike. You don't want none of that.
Hey, high 7. 55.
First down. Herbert. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
Hey, come on now, come on.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Herbert. That one complete to Hill. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards the pickup there. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Throwing on 1st down. Herbert gets this one to Hill. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the Browns 17-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
52's the Mike, boy. 52.
Ready?
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He connected on his first, this from 41. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened.
It got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover and put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. Now a first down throw complete downfield. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 33 yards that time. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for first and 10. And it is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. To the air again, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. So that'll back him up 5. Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on second and goal. From the gun, here's Newton. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Demir Bird. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys are back within a single score. The point after is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So with 13 on the clock, it's time for an onside kick. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This is going to be recovered by the Bengals hands team. And they're going to hang on and win this game. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for Cincinnati, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they go down to defeat